Well, guys, there you have it. This is the instant reaction as Newcastle go from being down at the start of a game, conceding right at the start of a game against a Manchester City side, a champion side. I'm thinking, this is going to be a tough day today, to turning it around in less than a minute, 30 seconds, went 2-1 up, half time. Today's our day. To then concede to 2-2 and still think, you know what it is, we've played a good side today. If you'd offered me a draw at the start of this game, I would have taken it. To conceding in the last minute of the game to lose 3-2, that is tough to take. It was on Sky, it was on TV. Let me know your thoughts on the game down below. I am absolutely gutted. If I'm perfectly honest, I was lining myself up to be coming out here after the game and telling you guys what a great game it was, and I will go through the positives of what we did do today. I tell you what, and I said this prior to the game, Eddie Howe said this prior to the game, and what he wanted was people to see a Newcastle side who went out there and give it a go. Look, you're playing a Man City side who've got a lot, even at home. The away side have got a lot of the ball. There's a lot of chasing. There's a lot of tracking down. You know, last year, it's New Year, 2024. Last year, it was a lot of talk on injuries, fatigue, bringing players back. You could even go into it in this game. We made our first substitute. We're playing against a Man City side. We've got two squads. We've got 25 players. We've got 22 sides of 11. To bring on a Kevin De Bruyne, who comes on and totally changes the game, wins the game for them. We'll come on to him in a moment as well. You've got a side like that, making changes, making things happen. We bring our first substitute on in the 85th minute, and it was Lewis Hall. It was a defender. You know, you're looking at the lineups prior to the game, and we've got no attacking players. And no disrespect to some of the younger lads we had on the bench. We had two goalies. We've got Gillespie, we've got Hall, we've got Lascelles, we've got Dummett. We've got no forward players to bring on in this game. And that's been the kind of the story of our season. But I felt like in that Sunderland game last week, and yes, it's a lower league opposition, but it was still a derby day and it was a game that mattered. And I felt like we had that punch again. We had that little bit about us again. I don't feel like we were finishing the game knackered for a change. I felt like we had a lot about us, and Eddie Howe has kind of pushed that pre this Man City game. It wasn't really a big push on, yes, we're back at home, we're going to win. It was more a push of, I want to see that side again. I want to see that bite from Newcastle again. Were we on them the whole time? Were we nipping at their feet every time they got the ball? No, we weren't quite there yet. We weren't the side that we saw a lot of last season. I would say we weren't the side we saw at the very start of the season, but we were better. We were getting there. I mean, we made opportunities. I think their keeper had to make a couple of saves, and look, fair enough, Dubravka had to make quite a lot of saves as well. Big up Dubravka. I thought he had a very good game, but we forced some saves out of them as well. I mean, look, the first couple of minutes, we were all over them. You know, Edison went off injured. Longstaff didn't score. It was an own goal. VAR came. Honestly, the VAR scenario was winding me up rotten today. I honestly wonder sometimes whether it even is it making it better, or is it just making it way worse. There was a moment when Dan Burn tackled one of their players, got the ball, and nothing was given. You could even go into the fact that one of their goals, was it their first goal where Gordon got brought down on the edge and they ran through and scored? When it was clearly a foul, a clear barge on Gordon, and they've gone through and scored. There was the first few minutes when we were on them, and Almiron was on it. Look, I give Almiron great credit out of that Sunderland game because I thought he played really well. Part of that, I wonder, is that because he was playing against a championship side, but I thought he was on them again today, and we created a few opportunities early on. We even put the ball in the back, then it got ruled out, and I'm thinking we're here to play today. 2 seconds later, Man City run down the other end and score. I'm going, or maybe not. Maybe it's going to be tough. And from that point on, for the next 20, 30 minutes or so, Man City had a lot of the ball, and we knew it was going to take a lot to get back in it. But the thing is, when you've got a player like Isak or a player like Gordon You can make things happen out of thin air. And I tell you what, the ball that Bruno played over the top onto Isak, and look, the ball was fantastic. I will give Bruno massive plaudits. But for Isak to take that down, take a touch inside, look up. And I think that was the thing when Edison went off and the substitute goalie came on. We had to have a goal. We had to have a shot. And the cut inside scores the goal. My mate has gone down to the toilet, so he's missed that one. 18 seconds later, is that what people are saying? 30 seconds later, or moments later, same goal again. Anthony Gordon, ball through. And that's, if you take your chances, you make goals happen. And we have the players available to do that. And then against the Man City side, who've got a lot of the ball, you've got to take those chances. Gordon cuts inside, it's exact. My mate comes back for the Gordon goal. He's going, what happened in the first one? Same goal. Same goal happened, except it was Isak the first time. We've just scored 2 goals and we're going down at half-time, winning 2-1. And I'm going, fair enough, Man City have had a lot of this game, but we've pulled it back and we can see this out. And maybe that was exactly what went wrong for us. Me using those words just there, we can see this out, because that's what we really did. We went into the second half. It's a bit of everything, because I would also argue and say if we pushed for a third and a fourth, Man City, when they hit back, they hit back, and that's kind of, you could possibly say how it finished in the end, because we were possibly sitting that little bit too deep, and we were kind of inviting the pressure. We were letting them have the ball, but we warned them off for quite some time. But the goal, the man who comes on with his new hairdo, Kevin De Bruyne, not the hairdo, it's not my favourite, but everyone for themselves. He comes on for the free kick, fluffs it up, everyone laughs at him. What does he do next? Literally moments later, through ball from the back, Kevin De Bruyne effectively just walks into our 6-yard box and just 18-yard box and just passes it into the corner, and it's 2-2, and it's easy as that. And people are saying around us, that's why we're looking for a defensive midfielder this window. That was it. Like, Luton did it. Nottingham Forest did it. I'm surprised Sunderland weren't watching those 2 games, because they didn't do it. They tried to pass it from the back every time. Our weakness is when the ball runs from the opposition's defence into their strikers that bypasses our midfielders. De Bruyne literally took a step on Bruno, a step on Longstaff, and was through on goal with a couple of defenders looking at him, and we were nowhere near him. Bruno and Longstaff, everyone's kind of turning around going, oh, was that for us to get? But that is, and that's the thing. And I think Eddie Howe has said this, as we've, because of the fatigue and because of the tiredness, we aren't getting back like we used to be. Fair enough, Bruno swans off into the opposition box. We want him to do that, by the way. We want Bruno to be on the opposition defence. We don't want Bruno sitting back. But the thing is we didn't have a Joe Linton today. And we didn't have a Longstaff. We're just hoping that someone covers every time. When Bruno steps out to make something happen, we're hoping that somebody covers. And we've got a world-class De Bruyne just walking into your 18-yard box with nobody anywhere near him and just slots it in the corner. So I'm not going to get angry at them with it, because that's been our weakness for some time. We saw Luton do it. We saw Nottingham Forest do it. You telling me that we didn't expect Kevin De Bruyne to do it? And then literally with minutes to go, and I'm going, you know what? A draw against the champions ain't too bad. Yeah, they had other decisions for that. Bob puts the ball in the back of the net and makes it 3-2, and everyone's walking out of St James's Park with a loss. But I will take positives from that one. I have to try. I thought we were looking more like us again. I thought we were hot on them. We scored 2 goals for the neutral. It's a great game. I think it's to take nothing is heart-wrenching. Actually, I am absolutely gutted. And now we've got a bit of a break, and then we've got Villa, and then we've got Fulham, and then we've got what you would call a decent run in the Prem, and I think that's what it's all about right now. It's seeing out this January window. What can we bring in? I think Eddie Howe's clear that he wants to do something. Is a Calvin Phillips on the bench for Man City today something Newcastle should be looking at, or are we just praying that we get the likes of Barnes and a few more back sooner than we would have thought? But yeah, there you go. That's what sport does for you. It can take you to the highest of highs, and it can definitely shoot you down as well. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Drop a like, subscribe. There will be plenty of videos over this January window, despite the lack of game time. Hopefully there'll be plenty going on in the transfer window, so don't miss. If you're still watching 10 minutes later of a man almost crying after a football match, be sure to subscribe and check out the channel. All right, thanks for watching. Thoughts down below, and I'll catch you later.